Hello, everybody.
Hello, after our 1 week break. Yeah,
Wasn't an intentional break.
yeah,
Also, don't say that because the people listening in the future wouldn't notice.
well, I like to fill the audience in. Why couldn't, it was initially down to something about you, but I think
Because,
but then it came down to something to do with both, because my mental health, I'll say this quickly, my mental health took a real turn for the worse, last week. I'd not really like to talk about why.
yeah, no, this was a back and forth sort of thing. Because first, I think we were going to record this on a Monday, and you were going out. Then we were going to record this on Tuesday, and I went out to a concert,
Who did you
and
go and see?
Genesis.
I'm vaguely aware of them.
I That is not surprising. Anyways, then you were doing something on Wednesday. We were going to record on Thursday and just have the episode go up late. And then I had to work late. And then we were going to record on Monday because we're professionals at this shit. And then
It was
I
your
would,
birthday.
yeah, I forgot when I set that on when I told Emerson on Thursday, hey, are we kind for recording on Monday? It was still November. No, it wasn't. It was for like the 1st of December, which in my head was December, and it was still November. And I was like, I totally forgot that my birthday was on Monday, and so I did not want to record on Monday. So now we're recording on Tuesday, the 80th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attacks, of which was the start of World War II. Hopefully, that doesn't mean anything for us.
Oh no, I don't think it will.
But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, we've finally gotten there. So, do we just want to keep going, or do you have anything else to talk about?
Uh, yeah, sure, we can keep going.
Okay. I thought, are you doing the prize task first?
Oh, yes, I am. Sorry, it's just quite late here.
Yeah, that's. I want to just try and get this through because you sound very tired, and I feel bad that I'm making you stay up that late. But hi everyone. In case we didn't say, this is your time starts now, a Taskmaster podcast. I'm Joe. He's Emerson,
Yep, that's true.
and
Always the
we're
same.
we're talking about season 4, episode 6 of Taskmaster, entitled "Spatchcocket." Um, Emerson's going to do the prize task, so just take it away.
Okay, so I should apologize if my energy levels are just really low. I'm still in like that mental health dip. Um, but anyway, banter. Greg asks Alex if Horn is his real last name. But Alex doesn't know if any name is real, and then he just says that was what it was his. It was in the and then just tells the story of how his mother left him, and that the name Horn was in the letter that she left him. Yeah, just typical like Greg and Alex stuff
I
kind of
watched this
things.
episode last week, so I don't remember the banter. So,
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it too.
yeah. So, yeah, this task is best sheep-related item.
Yeah, best sheep related item, and what Noel has Noel's up first, and what Noel has done is that he's brought in a little woolen effigy of himself called Woolen Noel, and yeah, it's just like a little knitted, crocheted kind of thing. Um, looks pretty cute. And then you pull the trousers down, and you can see his little cock, his little woolen, his little woolen cock. I
I
got you
thought
at
you
that,
were.
didn't I?
I thought you were going to dance around it with euphemism.
Oh no, I am cutting straight to the point, and I am not ashamed to say it.
And I'm just going to
Um,
say on my notes, it just said knitted wool effigy of Noel, comma, complete with genitals. So, not sure which one of those is worse. Well, actually, I do know it's yours. So, But anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, yeah, so that's a cute little thing. Mel is next, and I'm surprised that Mel's no, actually, no, I'm not really surprised. She's just brought in some raw wool, like just clumps of sheep's wool, and has used the wool to make stupid thing. Siri's just come up on my
To
computer.
to
Um,
make yourself into a 19th century patriarch. Also,
yeah, like
I should say that like Brunel, right?
yeah, Brunel, in Henrik Ibsen, among them. Yeah,
I should just clarify for the listeners at home. When we say raw wool, the correct term is like unprocessed wool. So it's still like big and clumpy. And if you put it on the sides of your face, it will look like ye olde Victorian sideburns of men of industry in the 1800s, which is what Mel was trying to go for. Apparently her family does this as like a game in their house, and Greg correctly deduces that this is the work of mad people.
yeah, and Mel is pretty mad. Sorry, my head's just all over the place. But we press on. Um, Hugh's up next, and Hugh's actually brought in something that's not shit for once. It's not perfect, but it's all right. It's a woolen hat from Kenya, and it looks very toasty, very warm, and he got it in Kenya, which is really bizarre.
Well,
But
he got it on a safari, I think he said. I have a better question, which why do you need warm clothes in Kenya? Surely being in like the heart of Africa would mean that you do not want heavy wool clothing.
I mean, some people are weird, I guess.
Perhaps. Maybe it does get cold in Africa and I'm just writing off an entire continent by accident. Oh well. Let's let's keep going before we make more geographical missteps.
Yeah, I am sorry. My energy levels are just all over the place. But yeah, Joan has next brought in a lamb shank with mash and gravy and au jus. I didn't know what au jus was first. I had to
It's
listen to the version with the. Well, I would have known what it was, but I wasn't exactly sure what he was saying. I had to
hmm,
watch the subtitle version to get uh, details of what they were saying.
au jus is beef drippings with normal or meat drippings in general used as a dipping sauce. For anyone who
Yeah,
didn't know.
that's exactly it. And I just want to say that as a person who doesn't eat meat anymore, this is sort of like one of those things that sort of kind of disgusts you, but also tempts you back to eating meat. So I feel like I'm being pulled from both sides, if you get what I mean.
I don't because that au jus sounds delicious. I wish I'd love some right now with a sandwich. Maybe I'll have some later. But
Yeah, you should. And then Lolly's up last. Lolly has got Greg his own sponsored sheep named Snowdrop, who looks pretty angry, if I do say so myself.
yeah, Greg did like that it was angry. Actually, Lolly phrased it very well because I believe she said when she was doing it when she was introduced to, I got you a sheep, and everyone was looking around for the animal before before she said, "Oh, it's an adoption certificate for a sheep," which is a little underwhelming, but the sheep's funny appearance does help that.
Yeah. Oh, I found out a couple of fun facts. This series 4, has the both the highest and lowest average scorer for the prize tasks in Taskmaster history.
Hugh and Joe,
Lolly, Lolly,
Lolly.
Lolly out of Hope has the highest average point score in the prize tasks out of any contestant, with an average of 4.25 out of 5.
What does Hugh get?
I think it's about 1.5 2.5 or 1.5 or something.
Nah,
Yeah.
that is. I think it's a bit unfair against Hugh, but Greg definitely seemed to have a bit of a have it out for him a little bit during this entire show.
Yeah, it certainly seemed that way. Um, but oh well,
Oh well,
what can you
indeed,
do?
not
Um,
much.
Not much indeed. Anyway, he
Scores.
scored. Scores. Lolly wins with 5 points. As I said, she's the most successful um, prize task contestant ever. It's joint third for Joe and Noel. Then Hugh gets 2 and Mel gets 1.
I thought
Um,
that Noel and Joe got second because I thought they specifically said it was joint second.
I mean, I got this from the Taskmaster wiki.
Okay, no, then
Um,
I missed. Then I wrote it down wrong. Um, but anyways, now let's drop the Taskmaster Joe intro so we can hear what I thought of it.
okay. Taskmaster Joe. There you go.
Yep. Mel goes into last place because it's a stupid prize. Noel, I did not like Will and Noel, and so that goes into fourth. Uh, I didn't care for Lollies and Joe and Hughes, but for different reasons. Because Lollies was not an actual sheep, and I'm always just a bit curious of these like sponsor an animal things because it's like I don't actually get the animal, do I? I don't.
Not really, but it's
Then why?
sheep. It's
Then
sheep related.
yeah, no. I get it, but like as a prize, what's the point? Why do I? I'm more. I just don't like those sponsored animal things as a whole. It's like I don't actually own the animal, so why are we doing this? It's that sort of thing. And then Hughes just looks kind of funny, especially
Yeah, it
on him.
does.
It's one of those things where it's like it's not bad, it's just not good. And then Joe obviously gets first place because you know it's
You
a
like
lamb
lamb
shank.
shanks.
It's a lamb shank with au jus and mashed potatoes. How can you not like it? And gravy.
I mean, I'm vegetarian, so I
Okay, but
don't eat
you're
meat.
this isn't Taskmaster Emerson now, is it?
We couldn't do Taskmaster Emerson. I just have no opinions whatsoever, and because of how late we record this, I'm just too tired to focus. Why couldn't you live closer to me?
I think if I lived closer to you, I would have to be on like the Canary Islands or the Azores or Iceland for me to be anywhere near the same time zone.
Why couldn't you
Uh,
just be in the same country as me?
why don't you be in the same country as me, Emerson? There's there's much more America than there is England.
Yeah, but it means I don't have to travel as far for anything,
Live
which
in
also means
us.
we have good public transport.
Live in a big city.
I do. I live
Live in a
in.
big city in America, in my time zone. There's like 2 dozen of them. It's imagine the entire population of England and then some living in one time zone, and that's just Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And then
Well,
we've
I'm kind of happy where I am. I'm not going to lie to you. But anyway, do you want to take the next
I
task?
would. I would. This I really like this one. So the task is get this camel through the smallest gap. You have 10 minutes. Your time starts now. Each contestant is presented with a small stuffed camel, which is named Stuart. Which this was not named by any of the contestants. Alex named this creature, which it just I feel like Rod Gilbert would have had a more sadistic glee with this, but it just everyone else is apologizing to Stuart because of what they do to him. But first we get Lolly, who is perhaps the most conventional of the contestants because she pushes the camel. Everyone tries to like figure out what the smallest possible gap is. Lolly starts with she pushes the camel through gaps in like a slatted wood shelf, then the handles on the oven in the kitchen, and then she tries to get it through a very narrow gap, like around the handles of a cabinet door in the kitchen, but runs out of
Yep.
time.
Oh, did we
Uh,
mention the camel's called Stuart?
yes, I
Yeah.
literally just said that.
Sorry, I zoned out. But yeah.
You're good. Um,
Um,
and so yeah, Lolly gets
I wonder where the name Stuart came from for the camel.
I don't know. But Lolly managed to get Stewart through a 3.1 centimeter gap, which was between the door of the oven and the handle of the oven in the Taskmaster kitchen. Uh, then, then we get Noel, and Noel eviscerates poor Stewart and shoves him piece by piece. Well, actually, it's not a proper evisceration. I think he misunderstands like what it's meant by the camel, and so like chops off like parts of it, like the head and some of the legs, and just leaves a stuffed torso on the table, and shoves those and bits of stuffing through a paper towel roll, piece by piece. He does not get all of it through before he runs out of time, and he gets 8% of the camel through a 4 centimeter gap,
Yep.
and then on to Joe and Hugh, who both do really awful things to poor Stewart because they dismember and then blend Stewart. Actually, they might
Yep.
actually have spatchcocked it because that's where the one of these three contestants is where the name of this episode, Spatchcock, it came from.
It must have
Because
been Hugh. It's the sort of thing that he would say. I wasn't even
no,
sure spatchcock was a real word. Go away, Siri.
spatchcock is something that you do to
Literally.
prepare a chicken in a specific kind of way. I'm not entirely certain what it is. Spatchcock is a noun for a chicken or game bird split open and grilled. A
Yeah,
verb is
that's it.
split. Yeah, you split it open. So it's also known as butterflying it.
I prefer the term butterflying it. It sounds
Yeah.
cuter.
Although if we do continue talking about spatchcocking, we can make the joke that we've said the word cock like 9 times already in this episode.
Spatchcock, spatchcock. You've got to spatchcock. Ta-da!
I was more making the reference to you talking about Wool and Knoll, but
I don't know. Woolen spatchcock.
that could work. Wool and Knoll, Wool and Knoll complete with spatchcock. I don't know.
Yup.
We could do that maybe, but anyways, poor Stewart is spatchcocked and dismembered, and then shoved into the blender, which Hugh broke, and then critically, Hugh did his task before Joe Lyset. The
And the
blender
blender
was not
broke.
fixed in between these. And so Joe Lyset tries to use the blender, and the blender does not work. So both of them are resorting because they also like filled the blender with water to like I guess try and make a camel smoothie.
Yep.
And yeah, they are both desperately shoving the wet, sopping remains of Stewart through small gaps in doors and cutting board handles.
I feel for Stuart. I really feel for him.
You don't want to feel for Stewart. I bet that hurt like a bitch if he was alive. But Joe managed.
I remember that there was a clip. Do you remember there's like an advert somewhere on YouTube, like, you know those rubber toys that you can pull the limbs of that stretch?
Vaguely.
Well, there's one of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and it shows like it's from like the 80s, and it just shows some like kids stretching it out. And what someone did in like a YouTube edit is they put screams that sound like them over it as though they were being tortured, and it was horrible.
I will have to find that and check that out. But anyways, Joe
I'd love to see an edit of this task, especially the way that these two blokes do it, and just hearing Stuart screaming in pain.
Well, audience, you've heard it. You've heard it here first. If you'd like to edit this task so you can hear the screams of a stuffed camel being shoved into a blender, much like the animated film Sausage Party, which I think would be the closest analog to this, please do that, and then email it to us at ytsnpod@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on on other forms of social media. But if you want to, you're going to have to find our personal social medias and critically find Emerson's. Because if you send this to me, I'll block you. Because not sure I want to hear that. Don't think I do. Anyways, Joe got his through a 4.6 centimeter gap. Hugh got his through a 9 millimeter gap, I believe. Or was it 9
That's
millimeters? 9 centimeters. I'm sorry, 9 centimeters. I believe that
I
was like
wrote 9 millimeters.
no. Then it was 9 millimeters. It was through like the gap in a door or something.
Oh yeah, it was like the hinge
The
bit of the.
hinge of a door.
Yeah, it must have been 9 millimeters then, because there's
Yeah,
no way that a gap like that could be 9 centimeters.
yeah. I mean, it could be if it was open or shut at the right angle, but 9 millimeter. If you had that written down too, then yeah. And then we get to the clear winner of this task, Mel
Well,
Gedroich.
depending on interpretation, I
No, no,
guess.
no. This is the clear winner of this task,
All
Mel
right.
Gedroich,
Okay. Okay.
because this is like Taskmaster is a show about lateral thinking. This is the best lateral thinking I've ever fucking seen this season, or possibly one of the best instances of lateral thinking in this show. Mel gets in a car, manages to get one in like 2 minutes because they show her and Alex in the back of it with
Yeah.
like
They only had
with like
about 10 minutes to do.
yeah, they
this.
had 10 minutes, and she gets a car with like 7.5 minutes left to go. Which take that, Rasheen, trying to get a van in like season one. Remember that took her half an hour for the take this boulder on an excursion. I think
Yeah.
actually we're going to have to remember this. This is the fastest time that anyone has managed to organize transportation for their task.
That's a fair point. Actually, I hadn't even considered that. And this whole thing, I don't know how far this baby gap is in relation to.
Yeah, she gets there with mere sec. She does in fact get to the nearest high street to the Taskmaster house. High street is the correct word, I believe, because it's in England. And there is a Baby Gap, which, for those who don't know, Gap is a line of stores based
Oh,
in
I think
America.
I found it.
Where is it?
Um, so the location of the baby gap is 260 to 262 Chiswick High Road in London. If you have the address of the Taskmaster house, then you can piece those two bits of information together yourself.
Yeah, it's right down this. I'm looking at it on Google Street View. Oh, it's closed. I think it's permanently
Oh,
closed. They must have closed it down.
that's just first Cheese Posty and now Baby Gap Chiswick.
Yeah, I'm not. But it might have been just from COVID. But yeah, no,
But it's
Gap.
it's a Gap business.
Well,
Um, although
Gap
they could have always
is
just functioned online.
Gap is, for the record, a clothing store. The baby version is, of course, Baby Gap that sells baby clothes, and obviously, Baby is the smallest version of a Gap, even though it's not a small Gap. But it's the funniest way to do this task. So Mel is declared the winner. She gets through.
Rightfully so.
She gets Stewart through the door in like seconds to spare, and she is obviously declared the winner. I am not going to do this to dispute that whatsoever. And actually, if I am looking at this right now on Google Maps, so the Taskmaster house is on Great Chertsey Road in London, right by the Chiswick Rugby Football Club. So all they would have to do is go up Great Chertsey Road until they got to Devonshire Road, which would take them onto the Chiswick High Street, and then it's right there. So, or they could take Duke's Avenue. If you live in London, you'll know much more about this than me.
Um, yeah. Should we? Do you want to do Taskmaster Joe for this, or do you feel
No,
pretty
no,
much?
I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I can't. The only subjective one is Mel, and I think she won, obviously.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn then.
Yes.
The task, VT task 2, score a goal with this plastic bag in the fewest kicks. You get a bonus point for the best goal,
You can't
and
handbag the bag.
yeah, which is basically like a handball but for the bag. And it is important to note that we return to Chesham for this.
Yeah.
If you
Also,
remember, it's where the Impress the Mayor of Chesham task took place, where we met
yeah.
good old Mfok.
Mm-hmm.
Does good old Mfok reside over this fair land, as Catherine put it?
I bet he did at the time. I don't know if he's still in charge now. Also, I would just
Not
like
now, but
to
maybe at the
note.
time of this.
Also, I'd just like to note that there is apparently a 5-second penalty for each kick someone takes of the bag, because that wasn't said in the task itself, but when they did the scoring, anybody who kicked the ball was assessed a larger time penalty. I'm really not certain how this is supposed to go, but I was checking it, and that's what it seemed to be. Like there's a graph they show at the end of the episode, at the end of the task.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to sort of get that out in front because I'm not certain what it means. Like,
the graph shown at the end, it takes into account. So what it does is it starts with the fewest.
yeah, no,
It
no, but
starts with
I'm not certain
um
why they didn't like tell us that there were like time penalties involved. I'm just a little confused by that.
um. Anyway, I'll just say Lolly's up first. I think is it Lolly and Noel who's up together.
Yeah, it's Lolly
So
and Noel at the what is it Chesham United's football grounds?
Chesham United Football Club. Um, so Lolly puts the ball into the bag and just scoots it along, and Noel does a similar thing.
Yeah, because there is a soccer ball just lying around.
Yeah, it's
An
like a
old.
1950s kind of football, one that they would have
I
used.
think I think we've seen this ball before. This is a prop from Taskmaster because when Paul Chowdhury was doing his throw a ball the do
The
a task in slow motion
yeah
task,
that
that was the same ball.
or it could have been in that series as well when they did the green screen task.
Yeah, this ball has shown up a couple of times.
I mean, we don't know if it's the exact same ball. It's like so many like footballs look the same.
How
You
dare
can't.
you say that? That's
I mean,
ballist.
if it's the Plymouth Argyle squad football with the invisible signatures, we might be able to tell.
Yeah, but
Um,
these are distinctly all the same. I think like old style soccer balls.
yeah, it's definitely the same style. I can't remember if does Lolly put like her foot through the straps or something, or does she just like gently brush it along? Because I put she
I'm
just
not
scoots it along.
certain. I just know that this is not as successful as it is for Noel as it is for Lolly because I think Lolly is just a little bit better at it.
Lolly manages 8 kicks to Noel's 42, which has already put him off to
Yeah.
a bad start.
Noel is also wearing he's wearing like high heeled
Ca-
boots.
you said like cowboy boot kind of things.
Yeah,
Like silvery cowboy boots. Very, very Noel Fielding, those boots
mm-hmm.
are. Um, but yeah, it's not a good start for Noel. Then it's Mel next. And
Yeah.
what she does is
Hold
she
on.
hops.
Just for times without the penalty. Lolly got 5 minutes 4 seconds. Noel was 7 minutes 12. In addition to his 42 kicks, and then we're on to Mel.
Oh, yeah. But sorry, did you say Mel managed 3 kick? I got distracted by something.
I
I,
was
I am an awful podcast host.
I
But
was saying that Lolly got 5 minutes and 4 seconds, and Noel got 7 minutes and 12 seconds. In addition to
yeah,
however many kicks they got.
yeah. Mel only manages 3 kicks, which is good. Um,
Yeah, Mel actually attaches it to her shoe. Like she's wearing like I
like
couldn't I couldn't tell you the
hiking trainers, I
well
guess you could call
I
them.
couldn't tell you the brand. I've seen people wearing almost the exact same ones. They're like not Asics, but the brand
To
starts with
me,
an A, I think.
they remind
Asus,
me of
maybe?
Ace,
No.
not ASOS. That's more like team clothing with like
No, no,
Julian
no, no, no. There's a
trousers.
brand I think called Asus with a U in it. ASUS. I could be entirely wrong. I don't wear women's shoes. So,
To me, what they look like are hiking trainers, not like hiking boots that cover the ankle.
well,
That
no,
like
they're like running shoes almost. They're like just tennis shoes or something, but
no, they remind me of like hiking trainers. But
maybe, but
this is I'm not in the mood for a lengthy discussion
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
this.
No, no, no. But she found a golf tee somewhere and used that to like stick the bag, to poke the bag through a tag that was sticking on the outside of the heel of her shoe. Like one of those fabric tags that has like a loop of fabric. And she sticks the bag through there and so that she can effectively just walk slash drag the ball into the goal,
Oh, okay,
which,
okay.
which
I
she does
mean,
to great success.
what I'm trying to imagine is I know he said you can't handbag the bag,
No, no,
but
that's why she found the golf tee.
oh right. Oh wait, could that golf tee be from another task later this series?
I have no idea. I don't know if she found it on her person, if she found it in the
Because
middle of the golf court.
let me just
The
say the final like VT task of this series is sorry, I was I was just thinking back to when they had to entirely unrelated. I was thinking when they had to make the longest noise and Noel made that noise. That
Yeah,
just
well
came
no,
under my
actually
head for no reason.
I was going to mention that Joe, when they filmed this, when he's doing his celebration at the end, he actually says great start to the season, which
No, but
implies that this was filmed well before anything else.
no, but what I want to say is the golf tee. There's the final like VT task of the series is one where they have to like hit an object with another object kind of task.
Hmm.
If you don't remember, we'll see it in a couple episodes
Yeah,
time.
I don't know, but then again, Mel is always just holding random shit. Someone posted on the Taskmaster subreddit recently that like in some of
I
the
commented on that.
in some of the VT in some of like the studio bits, Mel's just holding an orange
I
during it.
commented on that. I commented on that.
You did.
I
I didn't.
commented the Jason Orange thing.
I did not look at the comments. I was browsing idly while eating, so I just sort of saw that. So maybe Mel just had a golf tee on her. Who knows?
That, or maybe it was from another task that we'll get to at the end of the series. But Joe Lycett, he sticks his foot in like through the straps of the bag and kind of just is the ball in the bag, and then he sticks his straps
No,
and
no,
just
no, no, no.
pushes it
The
along.
only ones who uses the ball are Noel and Lolly. But Joe sort of
Okay.
does like the soccer player, defending himself, run zigzag across the field approach, and then he just sinks it in, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He does. He does have a great celebration though, which he's able to get an extra bonus point for. But he still kicked it 77 times,
In a minute
which
54.
is
And
abysmal.
then and then they don't say how long Mel's time was. I went back 3 times and listened to it. So I don't know how long it took Mel.
Well, I think we'll just have to put that aside. But I think her
Yeah.
3 kicks sort of make it a bit. her kicks kind of just like keep it in. And then what Hugh does is they get a small crowd for it. I thought initially this was when I first saw this, I thought it was like, did Hugh tweet out saying, "Hey, can people come here?" But no, they
No,
actually
the
just
crowd was there for mockery purposes.
no. I thought they got it to support him. Like
Oh,
they
they
got the crew.
they did say they got it there to support him, but I took it in very much the same manner as Hugh is the least athletic person they can think of, so naturally the crowd is there to laugh at him when he fucks up. Is what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, he didn't fuck up.
He did not.
This was a brilliant task.
For Hugh,
Yeah.
yes.
He hooks. What he does is he gets his foot through the handles and he just runs along with it, not kicking it one bit. And then he just does a forward roll into the goal. Bish bash bosh, 0 kicks.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yeah, the crowd on and off the screen go fucking insane. There's actually like
Someone shouted. Was it for this? Hugh Dennis's
someone
attempt that shouted
shouts
"awooga."
awooga, which is apparently a catchphrase from a '90s TV show. Greg is shocked by this. You can
I think
hear
it's
it.
from. I think it's from
You-
Gladiators.
You can actually hear it if you listen very
I
closely.
did listen to it and I heard it. And
Yeah,
it's from I think Gladiators.
But yes, and I think we should just drop that soundbite, like from the awooga through Greg's reaction, because it's very funny.
Okay. I'm using my left hand. Let me try my right hand. No, wait. Don't talk yet. Just play it.
We only gave you that crowd because we felt sorry for you, thought you needed a bit of encouragement, but in fact, you are a glorious backballer. Incredible. I mean, I've never seen a reaction in the studio like that in my life, Hugh. It was incredible. Someone got so excited, they shouted out awooga, which is a catchphrase from a 90s TV show. I'm so excited, I'm going to refer back to Gladiators.
And then...
Yeah, you can talk now.
No, and then they add up all the different like penalty scores from this. And so I think the scores go from first to last is Hugh, Mel, Lolly, Joe, and then Noel is the actual scoring order.
Yeah.
And then Joe gets the bonus point, and that's pretty much the end of this task, which leads us on to another task at the Chesham United football field, which is so it had come to the attention of Alex and Greg that Mel is an excessively nice person. Now, ordinarily, this would not be remarked upon, but naturally, this is England, so all niceness must be frowned upon. And they decide to torture Mel for her crimes. And as such, they put a giant inflatable beach ball, which this thing has to be 9 feet around, because it's bigger than Mel in every dimension, significantly.
9 feet in circumference or 9 feet in diameter.
It is Mel could stand inside of it.
I could probably stand inside of it.
So I'm going to say it's probably like 9 feet tall. I'm way too in the middle of thinking about this to remember the difference between diameter and circumference, but it's 9 feet tall, basically.
Diameter, the circumference is the length of the entire the circumference is basically the circle's perimeter. The diameter is like the distance between the two furthest points.
It's that one. Yeah, it's 9 feet tall. Hide this ball from Alex. And she is given the task of hide this ball from Alex. You may not damage the ball. You have 5 minutes. Poor Mel doesn't get fucking anywhere. She rolls this thing off of the field into the stands, is trying to get it over a retaining wall. And this ball is just not helping at all. And so she is just not able to get it over before Alex immediately sees it. And poor Mel in the studio is going like, wait, nobody else had to do this? And so, yeah. And then, of course, we're not done. We're not done.
Nope.
Because there is another task in which they don't even bother to show the full version of this one. Is that
I don't blame them, because it literally would have been so boring.
It would have been hilarious. But it was have Mel inflate the same ball inside the Taskmaster house, which took her, I don't know.
45 minutes. 45
minutes. Yeah, it took
minutes.
her 45 minutes. I don't know what she was like told to do, but it took her 45 minutes. Then she was handed another task that she had to score a goal in the garden with the ball, meaning that she had to deflate the ball to get it out of the house and took her 25 minutes. It is dark outside by the time she finishes this. I would be like actively having to not murder somebody, but Mel is chipper and all smiles, and we have a verdict, which is that Mel is officially nice.
Yay.
And there would be, and if I were on this, there would be no Taskmaster, because I would have fucking murdered Alex Horne. Because God. I don't know how nobody else.
Whether you were Mel, whether you were given this task, or whether you were just going to watch it.
No, if I had been given this task, which I think it's very funny that nobody ever seems to realize that Alex is the one who makes all these tasks. Like they're always like, task.
I think people do know, but it's just sort of like not really talked about.
Right, but yes. Anyways, we now have Task 3. What's in that sleeping bag? Emerson, take us away.
Okay, so you basically have to identify the objects hidden within a sleeping bag without allowing any of the items to come out of the sleeping bag.
Well, that's not what it says on the task.
Well,
the task says, work out what's in the sleeping bag. You may not take the items out of the bag. You have 5 minutes. Your time starts now. Because we have some dispute over this in this task.
Well, sort of, but it reaches a pretty unanimous conclusion. But anyway, it says the items include a police helmet, a model turtle, a fennel taped to a frisbee, a rope with some carrots tied to it, and a copy of John Griffin's Time to Kill.
John Grisham's Time to Kill, and it was a jump rope with carrots as the handles, not just a rope with carrots.
It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Now, I didn't really want to talk about this task because I didn't really write down anything of great significance with it, but I did. But Noel went first. He feels them around. I didn't write down anything for Noel other than he guessed the book and the turtle. He wasn't able to guess what type of book it was, but Lolly also gets the book and the turtle. I didn't write anything much for either of them. But
you're fine. Nothing actually for Noel and Lolly's are about the baseline standard, and then after that everything gets progressively nuttier as this task goes on.
Yeah, it does, and it's very, very weird from this point on.
Yeah.
Hugh Dennis is up next, and he has the motive that the items will come out of the sleeping bag, but he's not going to take them out.
Yeah.
So what he does is he either unzips the sleeping bag or he just turns it upside down.
He unzips it and then turns it upside down.
Is this the same sleeping bag that Mel was dragged around in the previous episode?
I don't know. Maybe
they were both attention. They were both blue. They were both blue.
Perhaps.
But anyway, so what Hugh does is that he empties the items out of the sleeping bag. He guesses pretty much all of them right, but it doesn't matter because he's DQ'd. What do you feel about this?
Okay. Obviously, Hugh was not acting in the spirit of the task. However, this is Taskmaster, where it has been shown that it doesn't fucking matter if you're in the spirit of the task so long as you're obeying the letter. And Hugh didn't take anything out of the bag. Hugh opened up the bag and knocked it, and everything fell out. Okay? Obviously, that is almost taking it out, but he didn't actually touch anything, which is what I think is would be the definition of take
what
stuff
they're
out of
going
this.
after.
Yeah, no, I understand entirely why Greg was like, no, you don't get any points, but it's like also, and if this was a more argumentative cast for this season, I feel like, yeah, argumentative task. A cast this season, I feel like we could have definitely gotten like a good 5 minutes, like the pie breaching task of like what counts as taking stuff out.
But Hugh Dennis pretty normally just takes his punishment like a man most of the time.
Yeah, I feel
except when he gets pissed off because of a health and safety issue.
Yeah, but also things to note from Hugh's task. A tortoise once peed on him once, he reveals, and when he comes in to start the task, he's like he wonders if he's to do an autopsy because the sleeping bag has a helmet in it, so it looks like there's a body bag. It's like a body bag, and he's like, "Am I here to do an autopsy?"
Did you just say? Oh, was there like a helmet at the head of the sleeping bag, or like there was one?
Well, yeah, no, there's like a policeman's helmet in the bag.
Oh yeah, sorry, because I thought you said a helmet, just like because you know how I said. Is this the same sleeping bag that Mel was dragged?
No, not no. It's like a pit. I almost want to say it's like a pith helmet, but it's some kind of.
It would be like a classic Bobby constable.
Yeah, yeah. It's a policeman's helmet.
Certainly not what an American police officer would wear.
No, American police officers don't have standardized headwear. Actually. Could be baseball caps. Could be like I
thought they just had like polygonal peaked caps kind of thing.
In some bigger municipalities.
I'm thinking like Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons.
No. You're absolutely right. But a lot that's like for a big municipal police departments. Like some smaller ones might just have They might wear baseball caps most of the time. Really,
I could never imagine that.
You haven't been to America in a while. It's like, the Texas State Police actually wears honest to God Stetsons, and the Ohio State Patrol officers wear these stupid like they're God. What are they? What are they called? It's like a bowler hat, but with a brim that's like 8 inches wide. Like I don't.
Are you thinking? You're not thinking of a sombrero, are you?
It's not a sombrero, but it's like it's not a sombrero, but it shares a lot of character.
Who would wear this hat? Because I'm gonna try and Google it.
Highway patrol officers here. It's a stupid
Are these
hat.
officers in the US or the UK?
Yeah. No, hold on. I found the exact hat. I just have to figure out what it's called. What?
I got a state police Wikipedia article.
Here, hold on. I'll just send this to you in Discord.
I've seen it. Are these like the hats you see like more likely to be associated with the Canadian police?
I associate
when I say that I mean like the Canadian police officers in red on horses.
The Mounties, yes. But I associate them with the jackasses who have given me speeding tickets. So I don't like them.
I've never got a speeding ticket because I don't drive.
Yeah, I know. They might actually just be called patrol hats because this is a very like policeman's hat. I sent it to you in Discord if you care.
I mean, I'm not really sure I do, but I'll take a look.
They're just so stupid looking. They're just so dumb, but they also do wear like baseball caps.
Oh yeah, that is the one I'm thinking about. It looks more like a fedora on like the dome of a bowler hat.
but with like a wide brim.
Circular fedora. Like a sun hat kind of thing.
Yeah, that's here. I'm going to send you an image of them wearing it, and it's just really funny looking.
Well, at least the Imgur file has a reason to exist now.
If I, yeah, I have to do that. Shit, I didn't do that for last week's episode. I'm really bad at this.
I don't think we. Because the funny thing is, since we've introduced the concept of the Imgur files, we've been having less and less pictures for cross reference.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a lot of. It's still stupid ass work for me.
But anyway,
But yeah, no, I sent you the other picture. They just look like idiots when they wear it.
Apparently Mel does not know that this is a what's it? A police body's helmet.
Well, no, we skipped two very important things. First of all, we skipped Joe Lycett, and also we skipped
the what?
The commercial break, which is this one's actually really funny. The commercial break in between Hugh's task and Joe's task for this, which is a loud truck horn sounds, which is then followed by the phrase, as always, that indicates the end of part 3. This horn has never sounded before in the history of the show. I love it. It's so dumb. Can we play the soundbite?
Should we? We'll steal that? What if we steal that soundbite and we call it the Alex horn?
No. No. That's such a bad joke.
It's a bad joke that I'm surprised has not been made before.
Who knows? But anyways,
the Alex horn. That we've got little Alex horn, and that's the big Alex horn.
That's the loud Alex horn. Yes, and that can be the episode title, Loud Alex Horn, or The Alex Horn, and it's just HORN.
Yeah, not horn with an E on it, the Alex horn, and it's just a picture of like a random like loudspeaker that they.
No, we can have the picture be something else. I don't know, but
okay, it could be as Joe. It could be. I think that Joe guesses is in the sleeping bag.
Yeah, no, I would
because he guesses a butt plug.
Joe Lycett's guesses are great. He broke one of the carrots and mistook the other for a butt plug, but also astoundingly correctly guessed that there was a crime novel inside the bag, because John Grisham's A Time to Kill is, of course, a crime novel.
Yep.
And then we have Mel Gedroich. And
Jinx, we said it at the same time.
We did not. I think I'm like a couple of seconds ahead of you on the. I don't know.
Well, when I said it at exactly the same time you said it.
Wait, let's go to
the way I'm hearing it.
Let's go to the tape. Emerson, in the edit, did we say it at the same time? Mel Gedroich.
Jinx, we said it at the same time. Should I play like a classic rewind tape?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do.
I'll do it, and then it's like I'll add some I'll super slow-mo it down.
And don't do that. Don't slow it down. We should each say either like "Ha-ha, I was correct," or "Damn it, I was wrong."
Okay. Shall I lead this in for sort of like humor's sake or not?
I am not the one editing this. So that is up to Emerson in the edit.
All right. So it doesn't matter.
Mel Gedroich
guesses a YMCA helmet.
Now, she guesses a construction worker's helmet because
no, but she guesses a YMCA helmet.
Well, yes, because a construction worker was famously one of the people in the Village People, the band which did sing the famous disco hit YMCA, as well as In the Navy, Macho Man, and several other songs that never did quite as well because the Village People had YMCA, Macho Man, and In the Navy. And then,
not quite a one-hit wonder, but not super.
Disco did not live that long, so one-hit wonders.
Disco is a very product of the 70s.
I
What do
still like disco, but
I mean,
anyways,
it's strongly it's associated with the
yes.
70s more than
Oh
anything.
yes. But
And then the
I
80s came along and hit us with hard rock.
well, it was more that disco was actively hunted down and killed. If you would like to ever read up on this, a disco demolition night was effectively the end of disco as a mainstream thing because a rock station in Chicago had a promotion at a baseball game where anyone could get in for free to a White Sox game because the White Sox at the time sucked if they brought in a disco album that would be blown up in the set in the outfield in between two games of a doubleheader. The disco discs were blown up with great fanfare, and because and so that's sort of like the end of disco. But that was a tangent with Joe. Anyways, I just really want to laugh at exactly how wrong Mel was with all of this. This is like Frank Skinner telepathically sensing pies levels of incorrect.
Yeah, not she got nothing here.
Yeah,
Mel
she
literally got, but amazingly she got points because Hugh was DQ'd.
yeah, she Mel assumed that what she was feeling around were all related to each other. So once she found
The helmet,
I think
or is
she
it something
felt the
else?
frisbee with the wheat with the fennel attached to it. She thought it was a breastplate, and then from there went progressively further and further off the rails, eventually deducing that she had found some quote unquote pervy version of a Roman soldier's outfit,
What an oddly
which is
specific thing,
so
random,
wildly incorrect
and so
that
wildly
I feel
random.
like she had to either be projecting something or had literally been reading a book on the Romans 10 minutes ago.
I
I
mean,
don't.
human beings work in weird ways.
Yes, they do. And I don't understand. She also thought that they. She also thought that there were combat equipment toys like nunchucks with a book of instructions. Which I would like to point out that John Grisham's book, A Time to Kill, I don't know anything about it. It's probably like 5 to 600 pages long, probably in hardback. If you ever, for any reason, buy a product that is not specialized industrial machinery with a 600-page hardcover instruction book, put it back in the box, tape it up, stick a label on it, and return that shit to Amazon because it ain't worth it.
Wow.
Because so I wanted also nunchucks. How do nunchucks have an instruction manual?
I mean, like,
What
you
kind
have to
of
learn how to
world
use
does
them
Mel
properly.
Gedroich inhabit? I want to know. Because Mel's clearly living on a different plane of existence than the rest of us.
I mean, that's been evident for a very long time. Sorry, I'm trying to lean over to get my water bottle. Say something.
Um, uh, live task. Live task. Time for the live task. Because
Yay,
we're
live
almost
task.
done with this episode. They are told to
This
prepare...
might be our shortest episode ever. Like, our
It
shortest
might be.
regular episode.
It might be. Prepare the
Still,
items...
we should still try and push it past an hour because we are desperate pitches.
You are. I'm not.
I'm pretty desperate, and I don't know how many times we've sworn, but fucking long, boring shit.
But I'm sorry. Have we not had every episode this season preceded by Joe, please don't go off on tangents? I could just talk about Disco Demolition Night for 45 minutes with an optional segue into some of the greatest riots in 1970s and 80s baseball history, but you don't want me to.
No, I don't, because I don't want all the extra editing.
Cut, delete, Emerson. That's what you can do.
Yeah, but I'd
What
tell him
extra
to.
what extra editing do you do, if I might ask? This is how we pad time, because what actually do you do that takes so much extra time when I am talking?
Well, in the words of the brilliant and wise old man Noel Fielding, mind your own fucking business.
Okay, right. Anyways, the live
I'm
task.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. You're fine. You're fine. I obviously you do it with a trackpad. Maybe if you use a computer mouse, it'll
I
actually all.
no, my trackpad is still broken. The
Oh
saga.
no.
I'm still
Anyways,
using this mouse.
the live task. They have the live task is in two parts,
I
which
love this
is
task so
it is
much.
it's very funny. Prepare the items for the second part of the task. They have 1 minute to do so. The items in question are a glue stick,
I've
an
written them
orange.
down.
Oh, you have? Wonderful.
We've got an egg, some grapes, some gaffer tape, 3 rubber ducks, an orange which Hugh starts eating, cling film, glue, a stapler, and a milk bottle.
And 3 rubber ducks.
I said that.
You did? I didn't hear you. Cool. And so Hugh does in fact start eating the orange. Mel cling films everything and herself. No,
Noel
which
just has
hold
a
on.
mental.
I would like to point out that when I say cling films everything and herself, Mel first cling films everything to the table it's on, and then possibly out of boredom begins to cling film her own chest for no obvious reason. That cling film, by the way, is still there when she comes back down and sits down after the live task, which is really funny. But the obvious one to talk about is Noel Fielding, who, in
Loses his
heels,
mind.
mind you, grabs everything he can, jumps off of the stage like twice, and deposits everything in Greg's lap. And then runs back on stage. At which point we are introduced to the second part of the task, which is hold all of your items in one hand, then put your other hand on your head. Fastest wins. Mel picks up the table that she has cling filmed everything
That
to.
was a smart move.
Hugh just sort of gathers everything up. Joe drops his things and is like screaming as he tries and bends down and picks everything up, dropping other things as he does so. And Noel, again in heels, like heeled boots, vaults off the stage, runs over to Greg, sticks one hand under Greg's leg, and puts the other hand on his head. Can we please play the soundbite of Greg going, "Yeah, he's holding me"?
Well, there's another soundbite that I want to play as well.
Oh, then please do.
It's just as Joe Lycett's about to read the second part of the task out, and he turns and says,
I think you're fucked now.
Just play, and then Joe drops everything.
No, I'll play the soundbite as I say it.
Yeah.
Because that's how I like to stage it. But yeah, then Greg proceeds to say,
Are we happy that Noel held all the items by holding you?
Yeah, I am happy. I mean, admittedly, that might be because I enjoy being held.
And then they come down. Mel is still cling filmed, and Noel wins the task. I have no idea who came in the other places because they didn't say.
I wrote it down. We have Noel came in first, then Mel, then Lolly, then Hugh, then Joe.
Yeah, I have no idea what Lolly did at any point during this task. And
Me neither.
But what she does do after this is win the damn episode, which is good for her. And then, hilariously, she goes up on stage to collect her prizes, takes a bite of the lamb shank, and immediately does not like it.
Oh,
I am not
regret.
sure whether or not that is because she doesn't like lamb, or if that lamb shank has been sitting out for the entire episode and has gone cold.
I don't know. It could be the latter, but like I was saying, as a vegetarian / pescatarian, it's a grey area. My stance on my dietary is a grey area, but I just don't like to eat meat.
Is Laliatophobia a vegetarian?
I don't know.
If
Maybe
you
it's on
know,
her
put it
wiki.
in the comments or email us at
ytsnpod@gmail.com.
ytsnpod@gmail.com. I
Dot
did we
com.
s-
Dot com. ytsnpod@gmail.com.
dot com dot com dot com dot com dot
Dot.
com.
Sounds like we're saying .com.
Right.
Dot com. Dot com. Dot com.
Right.
Dot com.
Right. Anyways, that is.
Yeah, Lolly wins the episode with 19 points. Absolutely smashing it. I'm pretty tired. Do you wanna?
I don't have anything. I don't have anything else to say,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, this
I'm actually
episode will
kind of
be a little
tired
bit
too.
shorter than everything else. It's
Why
been a
are you
very
telling them
difficult-
this now? It's the end of the episode. Hi. If you've listened to it this far, the episode's shorter than usual. The linear perception of time is breaking down around your ears. If
Don't
you're
make
listening
fun
to
of
this
me,
part
please.
first.
I was just reiterating that it's we've had very stressful weeks, and yeah. Are you okay?
I just was adjusting my microphone. I think I forgot to turn on my noise canceling software. Because my desktop computer has noise canceling software that you can get with it because it's got an NVIDIA graphics card.
Well,
And I think I've forgotten to turn it on. You might have to mute that last little bit.
well, I mean, I asked why you were doing it, so I can't really, but yeah.
Oh. Right. But yeah, no, that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Ciao.